Hello dear Leos, and guess what I'm going to speak about is you. Well, there are some things that I have been trying with different Leos in order to see if they are really like that and how they are, basically to spend more time with them and in order to see how you people are. This is what I have found, and let's see what are you guys like. So when we say Leo, the first thing that comes to anyone's mind is regal, it's royal, right? Leo is the lion, the lioness. So immediately the Leo comes in front of your eyes, and this is how you can spot a Leo. Well, you need to know, and you'll be surprised to know, that there are two types of Leos that we are going to get into slowly, gradually, okay? But the moment we speak about Leos, it deals with power, it deals with presence. They have a wonderful presence. You can never neglect the presence of a Leo. You will always see that Leo are the soul and heart of parties. They might not get into you. I mean, when you are conversing with them, at one point of time, you will see they are very steady, composed people. Rarely they will talk very fast. They rarely speak fast. They will just, each and every word is measured and really, like you feel as if it's a king or a queen giving a speech. When they speak, it's really like quite, I would say, composed. They are quite rooted, grounded when they speak. And if you need to try to debate with them, the best thing is that you don't need to just go and, directly attack Leos, but you need to use the sense of humor, because Leos have a wonderful, wonderful sense of humor. They have this kind of perfect, this kind of sense of humor that kind of that they can just make jokes on the particular time. They're very well read, and they have this wonderful sense of humor that they can use many a times. And if you want to win their hearts, the first weapon to use is the sense of humor. This is very much their thing. If you want to debate or argue with them, if you use it with a sense of humor, well, you are saved. But if not, if you're directly attacking them, then my dear Leo friends, Leo relatives, or Leo lover, you need to know that you are going to get pounced on, because the Leos will not leave you like that. If you are in the proper format, if you're respecting them, and if you're not hurting their pride, there comes the word. The Leo pride is extremely, extremely important. So if by mistake, if you heard that little soft point called pride in the Leos, you will see their other side. Until then, everything is very calm, very goody-goody, and the moment you can most probably imagine yourself in a restaurant with a Leo. You're conversing with him or her, the lion or the lioness, you're conversing with them at the table in a lavish restaurant, not to say anything cheap. They will always invite you to a wonderful place. It has to be something classy. Point number 2, classy, right? So it has to be something wonderful, something which emits luxury, which emits a class, or where the food is just really, really wonderful. They will never invite you into hanky-panky places. They will always invite you to a wonderful place according to their royal taste. And this is where you're sitting. Imagine yourself, you're sitting with them and you're speaking about things. And they are very courteous, they are very well-mannered, and they're speaking nicely to you. They are cracking jokes, you're cracking jokes, and things are going fine. But one thing, at one point, you just say something very, very innocently, you just say something to them that hurts their pride or their ego. That's it. Then you are going to be served a cold meal, I would say, a cold meal, or you will really notice that something has changed suddenly in their behavior. the warm Leos have suddenly turned very cold, and you start to wonder, what did I do to do that? Excuse me, but you have hurt them. You have hurt their ego. You have hurt that pride is extremely, extremely important for the Leos. That self-esteem is tremendously important for the Leos. And you can, and rather I would say, you should never ever try to hurt that if you are, or if you want to be with them, or if you are with them. You need to try to see this. Now, for example, a Leo is speaking to you, and suddenly, you just look at them and say, wow, you're looking so beautiful, or wow, you're wearing such a lovely necklace, or wow, I like that pullover, or your shoes, or that color suits you. Just, excuse me, but I would like to say something offbeat here. It's nothing pertaining to your conversation, but I think you're looking really cool today. And you will see they are blushing like kids. That blush of the Leos. Have you noticed that blush? They just blush. And they blush 2 times. First blush is when they are praised. So it's like a childlike blush that comes on their face. And the second, you feel it's the blush, but it is not. It is the anger, where they can really turn red on their face. The flush of blood gushes onto their cheeks and sometimes into their eyes also. And our dear Leos, they are the people whom we can spot out easily. And how is that? Because they actually look like lions or lionesses. It's like they will have this kind of you try to see most of the Leo men, they would like, either in the youth or now, they had long hair. They like to keep the hair a bit longer than normal. Unlike the Virgos who are completely, cut short. But for the Leo men, they have a point of time in their life when they like to grow their hair, and they will keep it a bit longer. It's nothing wrong, because it is their Leo self. It is that cat family that they come from. It is the Leo sign that they are born under. The lady Leos will have thick hair. They usually have wonderful hair. Because I really, as I have very thin hair, I always used to crave for this Leo-like hair. Because the lady Leos, the lionesses, they have really very, thick hair and somewhat wavy. Yeah, is the wavy hair. And you look at them and you would feel you are looking at a lion or a lioness. Try to look at the Leos, or even you can see a kind of a jaguar or a kind of a leopard, kind of a body shape, yeah, very lean or something, or very robust. They can be very robust, especially when you look at the typical Leo. You will see that they are robust in their body. Yeah, they are like very well built, and their shoulders are broad, and really, the chest is wide. If you see the real Leos who have a very wide chest and well developed, thorax, you would see. And then usually the ladies also, they are kind of on the heavier side. Some of the lady Leos with the typical, lionesses are on the heavier side. They will be quite, how do you say, voluminous, but in the good way, which makes them so charismatic. Their presence is felt immediately. There is a kind of this magnetic thing about the Leos, if you see. When you will look at them, the way they walk, especially the lady Leos, if you look at them, the way they walk, it's really like a lioness they walk. They have this kind of a very, a kind of a fleeting walk, but at the same time with a lot of intensity. They have this kind of intensity. Look in their eyes. Usually the Leo eyes are more on the brownish side, a darker side they have, but of course you can have them in the lighter shades also, but usually the Leo eyes are more on the brownish shades. This is what I've noticed. And when you look into their eyes, they have this kind of some kind of pinkish hue or a bit of reddish tinge in their eyes. You try to notice that. Yes, I've been looking into their eyes to see. Yes, so you should try to see that they have this kind of a hue in their eyes, and you speak to them and they will just be rather, I would say, you will just feel a little bit complexed when you speak to them, because they will actually make you feel as their subject, and they are your ruler, because a Leo rules. A Leo always rules. They love to rule, and they'll rule over everyone. They would rule over whoever they can, because they are born under this sun sign. It is because of this very particular aspect. Because why are they born under this particular sun sign of Leo? Why are they born under this? Because they need to rule, because their life aim is to rule, to teach, to guide, to lead. This is their mission on this earth. So you shouldn't be very surprised if you are in the company of a Leo and the Leo starts to teach you things. I have a cousin who is a Leo, 15th of August. She's elder to me. When I was 10 years old, my parents had gone. Her parents also, so as she was elder to us, she was left to take care of us younger cousins, and we were all at home. And I wanted to fry an egg, and I had done it 1 or 2 times before. At the age of 10, I go in the kitchen, and it's morning breakfast time, and she's over there. And then I start to, trying to beat the egg, trying to, put it in the bowl, because I wanted to make a scrambled egg. So I put it over there, and she was just standing straight. She was just looking at me like that. And then she said, "1 second, this is not the way. Look how I am going to do it." She takes the egg, and she had a particular technique, and with that she opens it, and she said, "Did you learn it now, how to do that? Next time you do it that way." And I was like, okay. And then she taught me how to do it. I mean, I was a bit disturbed at that time, because our ego also gets a bit hurt when the Leo tries to teach us a particular technique, the perfection, and especially me, who is not that much of a perfectionist, was a bit taken aback. But she taught me things, and this is what is the quality of the Leo, is that they teach you. Even if they appear to be harsh while teaching you, you might feel, oh, look at this Leo, look at this lion or lioness, they are trying to dominate us by telling us this is not the way, this is the way, you need to do it this way, not that way. And it is very straightly, very sharply conveyed, in the sense they are honest, they are brutally frank. Yes, like the Aries, brutally frank. They will tell you directly on your face, no, it's not like that, you need to do it like that. And if you're short-tempered, you might enter into a fight with them. But if you're more understanding, you would say, okay. And if you follow them, your attention please, if you follow them, you have learned something in the perfect way. You have learned to do something in a good way, because they know it. This is why they are the leaders. Because they know how to do a particular thing, they will show you how to do it. And you need to follow it. They are perfectionists, some of the Leos. Here we come to the 2 types of Leos. And the 2 types of Leos is, one is the Apollonian and the other is the Herculean Leo. Now you will say, what is an Apollonian Leo? Well, the first type, the Apollonian Leo, are the Leos who are more the idealist kind of Leos. They are more of the artist kind of Leos. You will find a lot of artists under this type of Leo, and a lot of idealists who idealize a lot of things. They need that. It has to be like that. They are the ones who can bring about this kind of upheaval in people and make them go towards a big social goal. They are the ones who will modify the society. In masses, they will modify the society. They will modify the way things are done. These kind of Leos, the first type of Leos, are the Leos who are more of the perfectionist kinds. They are the ones who are more spiritually inclined. They are more on the spiritual aspirations in life. They are more the seekers in life. They are the ones who are looking for the spiritual elevation. They want to get the spiritual powers in their life. They are the ones who will fight for a social cause. They are the ones who might lead a country as presidents, as prime ministers, as ministers, as those great politicians from whom we can learn something. And they will do it in a very charismatic way. They have a strange kind of charisma, these kind of Leos, the first type of Leos. They usually are the type of Leos who set an example for others. And they are always wanting to create something positive in the society. No matter where they are, on which level, what they are working as, but inside of them there is a deep calling. Spiritually, there is a deep calling socially, for a social cause. And the second type now of Leos are the Herculean ones. Now you know Hercules, how he was carrying the globe on his shoulders, right? Exactly like that. You are like that. And how is it like that, dear Leos? Because you are carrying, the second type carries the burden on his shoulders or her shoulders. And how? What type are they? They are the ones who need power, who are the enterprising individuals who will create those enterprises, who will build those enterprises, the big ones, and become the chiefs over there. They are powerful ones. They have the power. They have the money, because it is more of the materialistic aspirations that this second type of Leos have. They would like to be successful in order to attain fame, in order to attain money, power. These are the aspirations of the second type of Leos. And these second type of Leos are the ones who will always have this innate, inbuilt feeling as if they are meant to empower, to overpower. People need to obey them. We can have the mix of both these Leos inside one Leo. The one who is more on the spiritual based, at the same time the one who wants to direct a company, who wants to direct a group of people into something. So there are always these two things, but otherwise you can also have specifically the Apollonian Leo and the Herculean Leo. Have you noticed something about Leos? They never like to take help. And they might be very clearly telling you, you don't need to help me, I can sort it out myself. And you feel like taking something and hitting it on your head. Sorry. Didn't mean to insult you in any way. It was just my genuine feeling of helping you. No, you don't need to do that. Okay, fine. I will not do it anymore. Have you noticed that? If you have any Leo friends, relatives, family members, you'll try to see they're extremely independent people. Extremely independent. Look at a Leo child also. Very much will be this little boy or the girl will be the chief of the group. You know, they know it right from that age. Okay, you do this, you do that. They know to delegate. It starts at that very age. At that very tender age, when they start going to school, you will see that. They might become the prefects of the class, the monitors of the class, the captain of a team. Very, very soon they climb the ladders. They are meant to do that, so don't stop them. If you have Leo children, enhance these abilities. If they say, no, I don't want to do this, I want to do that, let them do it as far as it is positive. They will do that. And they will make a place for themselves. A Leo is never unnoticed. They will always, no matter how many people are around, they will always make a spotlight shine on them, the spotlight shine on them. They will be on the stage anyhow, they will take the center stage. No matter how much you try to pull them back, they will be there because they need it, because it is required for their existence. Very much for their existence. You require that, dear Leo. Don't tell me you don't like to be praised, you don't like to be complimented. Yes, all of us do, but Leos, it's very important. It is for them like oxygen. They have to be, their work has to be noticed. They need to be complimented. It is that innate need. It's a child inside. It's a child which needs that appreciation, and we have to appreciate them, because this is where we bring about the positive things in the Leos. The moment you say something wrong, nasty, or criticize a Leo, you are actually handicapping them. Don't ever do that. They are generous souls, my dear. They are generous souls. Very, very generous. The moment you neglect them, they are like flowers who shed themselves up. And if you criticize them, they will pounce on you and they will tear you into shreds. They will tear you into pieces just with their straight, honest, brutal talk. They are extremely straightforward people. And that's why they can be very honest, because they are straightforward. They don't keep anything in their heart. Just like Aries. They'll just give it out. Then you deal with it, how you want to deal with it. And later on, they will come back to you just like kids, as if, nothing has happened. Rather, I would say you have to go back to them. Rarely a Leo will come back to you unless it's in the same family. You need to go back because you have hurt them. You have hurt their pride. You have hurt their ego. So you need to go back to them to say, sorry, I am sorry. I will not do this again. And get back that love, that generous Leo back into your life. You cannot play with them. When you say something nice to them, they are like little kittens. They will, as if they are rolling or as if they are, very sweetly purring. They are like that. But the moment you say something negative, they listen to you for 5-10 minutes and then they turn into roaring beasts. Have you noticed that, my dear ones? Whoever is been with a Leo, the anger will be expressed directly on your face, and then you don't know which way to go. You feel like you need to go into a cage and lock yourself up so that you are saved from this attacking, roaring Leo who is in front. Coming to relationships of Leos, have you ever seen a Leo alone? Me? No. Never seen a Leo alone. They cannot be alone. They are meant to be with someone. Their heart is really big, very generous. So they need to give this love. The sharing has to be there. They need to take care of someone. They need to help that particular person in life. So they will always be there for someone. But the only downside, the only downer here with the Leo nature is that their ego is so sensitive. They are such sensitive beings inside of them. I wouldn't even say the ego is sensitive, makes it too mental. But they are deeply very sensitive inside of them. And when this sensitivity gets hurt in their life, they break the relationship. Many a times they just walk out Have you seen the Leo also in real life, the lion and the lionesses? They will just go away alone. They go and they cry their own tears, but not in front of you. Never. They will show they are not affected. They will maintain a poise, a very quiet, they will be very quiet like that in front of you. Look here. On this side, look at the jaws. They are mashing the jaws because they are completely angry. Yeah. But they are quiet because they don't want to be cheap in front of you or anyone. They will be completely poised, like this, and the jaws will do the work of helping them to stay quiet. Just stiff lips, and this part will be just moving, and you have to know, oh my God, I have risen the fire in this particular lion or lioness. So you need to really keep quiet. And this particular sensitivity of the Leos leaves them with broken hearts. Their hearts get shattered, many broken relationships while finding the real mate. Sometimes they get married to wrong people. And then what happens is that after they are left with heartbroken, usually a Leo has many relationships in life because as they cannot be alone, some of them, they carry on the same relationship the whole life because they're extremely honest, fidel and loyal people. But the moment they have these bad relationships, at that time they just kind of retreat into their jungle, I would say, into their private place. And they will take a little bit of time, but not for long. They bounce back, they come back, and they will find a mate for themselves. Never, never alone. But lot of ups and downs in relationship. The Leo love life is never a calm river. It's full of ups and downs, no matter what the age is of the Leo. Until the Leo doesn't find the proper mate who is a kind of a binding force, who bonds well with them, who is of their taste, of their level, of their dignity, what happens is that the Leo is all the time looking for that person, is going in and out of relationships, leaves broken-hearted, feels neglected. And when a Leo feels neglected, he is not fine, she is not fine, the lioness is not fine, the lion is not fine when left alone. Never ever do that until and unless it was their own decision to walk out of that particular relationship. Or when a Leo is in a relationship, the only expectation that the Leo has is my partner needs to be loyal, honest with me, and needs to be frank. If you're an introverted sign, don't even think of pairing up with a Leo. It's going to leave both of you very unhappy. Don't. Leo likes somebody. This is why Aries and Leo bond pretty well, because both of them are, like boom. They are like that, and both of them can speak very well, and they are very open to each other about things. So I've seen Aries and Leos, they bond quite well because both are brutally frank, and they are always, they somehow there is this kind of compatibility between them. Try to notice that if you're an Aries and with Leo, how you bond up. Because I have always seen these kind of, and even with Sagittarians, they are pretty well, because they are also very outspoken people. So, and this is why these three signs I've seen, they can really bond pretty well with each other. But if you're somebody who is very introvert, you shouldn't, think of going the Leo way. you better go towards some water sign and find some solace there. Because the Leo means, yes, you need to express, no matter what it is. They are ready to hear your bitter truth also. It will be difficult for them to swallow. It will be difficult for their sensitivity to swallow this truth, but they need the truth at the end of the day. Don't even try to manipulate them. You will get it very badly on your face, On your face you will have the answer. You'll be badly insulted not in a very how do you say, in a very low level way, but in a very royal way. You will be asked to get out of their life. Maybe just by saying the Leo might just say, well, the door is open, you may leave. That's it. That means, in short, into bracket, get out. Now Leos, when it comes to their way of living, you will never see a Leo cheaply dressed. You never see them. Many a times the Leos have a lot of branded stuff with them, very well dressed, a lot of maybe they can have a lot of jewelry upon them if they are the lionesses, and that too the branded ones, or really very well dressed, very luxuriously dressed. If you are invited to a Leo home also, and your host is a lion or a lioness, then you will be treated to a very sumptuous meal. Even if it is a lion or a lioness who is not living in a castle, they will make you feel as if you have been invited into a castle. Their hospitality goes way beyond words. They have a real big heart. They are generous people. Believe me, they're extremely generous. Generous not just materialistically while feeding you on this guest table, but also generous to your faults. They forgive easily. And this is why many a times when the love stories of Leos end, they really don't end. There are many times there are the comebacks, the reconciliations take place in the life of a Leo. They cannot behave wrong. They cannot hold the grudge for all their life. Of course, their pride has been hurt, their deep, sensitive heart has been hurt, but they know how to again, get back on the track, so they will be fine with you. Maybe they might give you some words of wisdom very harshly, but they will come back to you. So when you are invited to a Leo or a Leo person's place, well, go there, but don't forget something to appreciate them. Don't forget to appreciate your host, please. If your host is a Leo, please don't forget to appreciate them, because they have taken a lot of time. Maybe they have ordered the food from the most wonderful restaurant of your town or city, or or they have cooked for hours there. Or they have asked rather their chef or their cook to cook for you. So always leave with positive notes. Always thank them for their hospitality, and they will be just there. And if you have even had a fight with them some time ago or something, you will feel as if, oh, nothing, everything has been gotten over. You will feel nice to reconnect to them. These are the kind of people that you would like as friends, because they're very loyal friends. Leos usually will never go on the other side unless you hurt them, unless you insult them publicly or in private. There you have lost a very good friend, my dear. Leos never do that. They're very honest friends, very loyal to the last breath. They will be with you. But you need to know how to handle them, because you need to understand there are certain limits that you cannot cross with them. They have, yes, it's like the security of a castle. You need to go stepwise into their life. They live in their own castles, even if not for real, but they do live in their own castle. Look at their houses, wonderfully decorated. They will always have luxurious wallpapers or carpets, or everything will be just, everything will speak about the royal taste. I remember a friend of mine who had a boyfriend who was a Leo, and once she said, I've been invited, and he's invited me to a restaurant. So we were like wondering, oh, which restaurant? Then she took the name of the restaurant, and we were like, oh, it's a very expensive one. And she said, yeah, he's invited me there. And we were like, wow. And it was, a 4-course meal that she had with it. So a Leo would never invite you to any hanky-panky places. This is what it showed, and we were like, wow, you're lucky you were invited. And you were like, and she was like, he was so good to me. He was so polite to me, like right from, dropping her back, and, in a very good way, in a very royal way. A Leo will never be able to behave cheap. This is the thing in them. Nothing of cheapness exists in Leos. Nothing at all. When it comes to spending, dear Leos, you are extreme spendthrifts, sometimes extravagant. And why shouldn't you be? Because you are the royalty. You are royal people. So whatever you have to buy has to be of your level. And to get things of your level, you need to spend a lot. So this is where Leos have to take care, because they can turn bankrupts in this want for this pompous show, want for the luxury. They can turn into millionaires from multimillionaires, I would say, or they can almost turn bankrupts. They have to take care of that. Money and Leo are two inseparable things. They will always go together. Always, the money and the Leos, they are as if they are bound to each other. They will always hit their gold pot, no matter what. Even if the Leo goes through the worst financial crisis, the Leo will find a way to come out of it. They will find a way. They will find means to come out of it. They will use their talent, they will use their leadership, they will start something, they will do something. They're not the kind of people who will just sit and watch life go by like that. No, they will do that. And they will bounce back, and their accounts, they will get them better. They know perfectly how to handle that part, and money doesn't leave them. They leave the money, but money doesn't leave them. There is a kind of a strange attraction between Leos and money. This is what I've noticed. Very strange attraction is there. Especially the Herculean Leos. It's like best friends, I would say. And somehow they manifest it in their life. They manifest lots of abundance in their life if they choose to. So a Leo will have his ways, her ways to bounce back. The difficulty in Leo's life is the emotional department, I've seen. Work-wise, no problem. They will manage it. They will manage it. They know how to go about things. Relationship-wise, they are too kind. They are too generous. So they keep on landing into relationships, especially with people who have a lot of problems. You are the kind of people, my dear Leo, who will always end up with people who need lots of help, because your innate nature is that of helping. And when there is no help, no one to help, at that time you feel lost. You feel powerless. You need to help people, because this gives you the kind of a authority position. This gives you the kind of satisfaction that is so much needed for your ego and for your Leo self. You need to do that. And this is why most of the Leos get trapped with some kind of crybabies, I would say, or some kind of people who have a lot of problems. For example, a Leo can be with a widow who lost her husband and who is survived by, who has 3 or 4 children, who doesn't have enough money. The Leo's generosity will go there and start, feeding the entire family. Or a lioness, a Leo lady, will have a lot of empathy, sympathy towards some kind of a person who has a lot of mentally challenging, mentally challenging problems. And she will try to help him, because she needs, or he needs, to baby someone in their life. They need to do that. And that's why it's a very difficult emotional life sometimes. This is why many marriages for Leos can break, many relationships can break, until and unless they find their equal. Have you seen something about Leos? is that when they are neglected, when you don't appreciate them, they fall sick. They can fall sick. They feel very sad. It's like, imagine a little kitten, very sweet, very tender, and you are not even caressing them or saying, "You're so sweet," or "You're so nice." If you don't say that, how would the kitten feel? Completely abandoned, will keep on sleeping, sulking. The same thing with the Leos. They are like little kittens. They need to be pampered. They need to be told how good they are. At times they need to be flattered. Otherwise they feel sad inside, and that affects their health. And how does it affect the health? Usually the Leos are full of vitality, robust they are, but otherwise they can have a lot of chronic problems like fevers. They can have often throat problems also. I see for Leos, throat problems also that they can have. They can have a lot of problems related to their vertebral column. The vertebral column can have a lot of problems like back aches. And usually a Leo feels that when the Leo doesn't get proper attention, proper support from the entourage, from the people around him or her. Also, the Leo's fragile area is the heart, because this is where the problem is. This is the heart is the root for Leos, because they have a big heart. They are generous. They like to help. All these other qualities of the heart. They like to give love, but when it is not returned, what happens is the Leo falls sick. The heart suffers. They can also have a lot of problems with the arteries, clogging of the arteries later in life, blood pressure problems. They need to take care of that. They also need to take care of sudden accidents. They need to take care of that. I have not seen many Leos who are mentally weak, no, because they are very good at rationalizing things. They will immediately rationalize things, and they will put things in their perspective. No matter how challenging and difficult the situation is, they will rationalize everything. They don't give up. This is a sign that never gives up. Just like the Scorpios, they don't give up. They fight till the last breath. They are the kind of warriors. They are the kind of crusaders. They are the kind of people with swords in their hands and saying to life, okay, what do you have to throw at me? I am ready to chop it off. And they don't give up on that. The only thing that they need to take for their health is to take proper rest. And you know it why, dear Leo? Why is that so? Because when you're not fine, we tell you to rest. And after that, what happens is that we take good care of you. And when you're taken care of, the first 2-3 days, you feel very nice that, oh, I'm the king, I'm the queen, I'm treated like a royalty, everyone is taking care of me. The 4th or the 5th day, something comes in your mind and says, by the way, my dear Leo, you know that you are a Leo and you are now like a weakling in that bed. Get up. You're no more weak. You're fine. You need to get out and you need to do your stuff. This is where the Leo gets up and doesn't follow the rest routine. If the doctor has said to the Leo after the operation, go and rest, you have to rest for at least 15 days. In 7 days, you will see the Leo gardening. My neighbor is one of them. 92 years old man. I'm always impressed by him when I see him gardening at that age. He had a back surgery not long ago. The doctors had told him for 1 month, no gardening and no driving, nothing. You need to rest. You know what? In 15 days, he was busy in his garden. He had taken to his driving, and even on his bike, motorbike, he goes. I was like, my God, what is that? I mean, to tell you, I really get an inferiority complex with him because he's so dynamic, 92 years old and so dynamic, bubbling with energy. And when I look at him and I told him, you know, please don't take too much care of your garden because it gives me a lot of complex. Look at my garden. It's not as good as yours. Everything is so nicely maintained, and early in the morning he goes to the bakery to buy the fresh bread, and it's like wonderful to see this. I mean, I wish all of us were like Leos, like not how do you say, pampering our bodies too much. And Leos know that not to pamper their body. They don't rest. This is why they just get up and they just get into the routine, because they know movement is life. They need to move. They need to be in control. They need to take the power of things. And if you provide them help, they will not like it unless it is really, really required. And if you are the little sweet child, yes, they will accept it, because they are wonderful parents. Wonderful in the sense they are too protective about their kids. They would like their children to be always appreciated by everyone, because this is their innate need. That appreciate me and my children and my wife and my husband. It's very much the my factor is a lot in the Leos. They are wonderful parents. A Leo mother will never ever leave her kid unprotected. She will always be there, no matter what, to help her child. I mean, to the point that she can spoil the child so much they can do the cocooning. The Leo father would want his child to be very dignified, will be very playful as a father, very playful as a father. Would like to play with the child, but will always enhance the leadership qualities in his son or daughter, always. And the Leo mother will be always like, okay, and will get really expensive toys, clothes for the child, and the best education she will want for her child. These are the kind of Leo parents. Until and unless they have some other, scars of their childhood that they were never allowed to express, then everything gets derailed in their parenthood also, because they will get this baggage and they will impose it on the child, who will not know how to deal with it. You need to know one thing about Leos. At the end, I would like to tell you this to conclude the video, is that you can never ignore a Leo. Never. The lion and the lioness can never be ignored. If you love them, they will always stay in your heart. If not, they will always stay in your mind. Just know that. That is the truth about Leos. They can never be ignored. They will make their presence felt. Not today, not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow. And know that these wonderful beings have a wonderful heart. You can never fathom the generosity of a Leo heart. For me, the color of the Leo heart is green. Green because it's abundance, it's prosperity, it's heaven. So if you have secured a place in a Leo's heart, be there, protect them. They're a child inside, This is why this kind of little childish ego is there. A little bit of this childish me is there. My mama, my papa, my thing. Yeah, this is just child. This is a child, just like the Aries. It's just the child. So you need to know that. But they are the wonderful organizers. They will organize everything wonderfully. Just give them a chance. Believe in them. Trust in them. They will make you believe in them. Just give them a chance. They are not meant to follow. So let them lead. And you take the back seat. And the last thing I wanted to say about Leos is that they never retire in life. They never retire. Even after their work, job, things, they take up some activity for a social cause. They will volunteer somewhere. They never retire in life. So isn't it wonderful? You are the kind of people who live the life to its fullest. And I think we have a lot to learn from you, dear Leo. And keep spreading this generosity, this sharing nature of yours, and keep teaching the world to be better people, because you're the best teachers, the best politicians, and you can be the best psychiatrists also, because you know how to help people. You are the best teachers because you love to educate. So this is what you are meant to do, to educate. This education can be the education at school with your students, education in a different way, by writing, by speaking, by being, kind of guides, spiritual guides, coaches, leading a particular group of people to the good of humanity, towards the betterment of the society. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed the Leo psychological traits as much as I did. So thank you, dear Leo, for listening to me. Thank you, Your Highness, I would say, for listening to this video. Please do like, share and subscribe, and yes, please do comment. I would like to know if it matched with you, and how did you like it, in short. So thank you very much, dear Leo, and I wish you all the best. We need you, dear Leos. So the stage is yours. Please go on and shine. Bye bye. God bless. Bye.